58% of users check their email first thing in the morning, and 89% of marketers say their number one channel for generating leads is emails. If you are not using emails in your business strategically, or you want help with a newsletter strategy, or you are using them but you want to get even better, this video is for you. Stay tuned, we're going to talk about email newsletters and how you can use them in your business. Hi, my name is Andrea Reindl. I'm the founder of Legacy Creative and a brand strategist. Today we're going to talk about one thing you can use in your business over and over again to get consistency with your clients, to increase your lead flow, to nurture your existing leads. It's one of the best marketing investments you can make in your business, and that is an email newsletter strategy. Now, I'm not talking about all email marketing because there's plenty of other parts of email marketing. We're just talking about newsletters and how to use them to nurture and convert your leads. Every business should be using an email newsletter strategy. And when I say that, I mean every business, whether you're a blogger, a coach, a YouTuber, a LinkedIn poster, a doctor, a lawyer, a chiropractor. It really doesn't matter what kind of business you're running, you should be using an email newsletter strategy. Email newsletters are one of the best investments you will ever make in marketing and will pay off over the long term in the best way possible. So let's talk about what are the core elements or ingredients that should go in your newsletter and how you can think about designing your own unique, completely you newsletter that is just for you and your business. First, you need to give your newsletter a name. What are you going to call it? Now, this is something that I think that we want to be completely on brand, something that really talks to your ideal client and gives them value. There's things you can call it like a newsletter, which is kind of boring, but there's also a bulletin, a memo, a minute, an issue. There's lots of different names you can use for what you're going to call the regular email that you send people, but you want to think about what do you want to call it. Some sort of a clever name that speaks to your ideal target market and talks about your business in a way that blends it all together is the way you want to think about naming your newsletter. Here's some of my favorites. The Monday Morning Memo. It's a marketing email that's sent out every single Monday morning, and it's written like a letter that comes from the author to his readers with hey, here's something interesting I learned this week and I've been thinking about, you should be interested in it too. Another one I read and I like is called the Saturday Solopreneur. It's got a catchy name. It's specifically designed for people who are solopreneurs. It's pretty long. It's written by Justin Welsh. And what I love about his newsletter is that it gives lots of practical tips for people who are building a solopreneur style business. And at the bottom of every email, he links to hey, when you're ready, here's 3 ways we can work together. And it's been nice knowing you this week. Another great newsletter that I love the name of is called The Love Letter, and it's written by a psychologist who sends it to her clients. That's all about how are ways that you can embrace your life more fully and love yourself more, and it's a great email newsletter. These are just 3 great examples. If you have other examples of well-named newsletters, drop them in the comments below because it might be kind of fun to see what other people are doing. The next decision you want to be making about your email newsletter is how often are you going to publish it? Rule of thumb here is commit to something you can be consistent about. So obviously there's the typical cadences like monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly. Those are kind of the common ones. And if you are someone who's not really sure how often you can publish your newsletter, when you put the opt-in on your page, just say to people, hey, I'm going to send you a random newsletter. I have no idea when I'm going to send it, but every time I find something cool, I'll send it to you. And if you're going to do something monthly, weekly, or bi-weekly, make sure that you're setting that expectation when they're opting in so people know what they're signing up for and what they can expect from you. The more consistent you can be with this, the more you will train your audience what to expect from you. Now you need to decide where you're going to publish your newsletter. So my favorite way to publish a newsletter is your own email send service. The reason I like this the most is that you own it, you have access to it, it's your complete database, you can tag your leads the way you want, you can follow up with them specifically the way you want to follow up with them. It's absolutely my favorite way to build an email newsletter in something like MailChimp, Ontraport, HubSpot, Go High Level, Infusionsoft. All of those are services where you can own your own email news list and send to them. Another place you can publish your newsletter is Substack. It's a reasonably newer-ish platform. One of the things I like about it is that you do have access to your subscribers' name and email addresses. So you own the database and you can communicate with them through Substack. Another benefit of Substack, if you're publishing a newsletter regularly, is that you may pick up subscribers from other people who are reading Substack newsletters. So it's a good way to grow your subscriber list and you own the emails. Finally, you can use a platform like LinkedIn. It's great for newsletters because there's traffic there. However, you don't have access to your subscribers' name and email addresses, so you're pretty much stuck communicating only on LinkedIn with them, which makes this my least favorite option of places you can publish your newsletter. Are you going to charge for your newsletter? That's another critical decision you want to make about your newsletter. One of the cool things about newsletters is that you can charge for them. There's plenty of businesses that are built on subscription-based newsletters or magazines basically that are printed and published online that people subscribe to on a regular basis. I mentioned Substack earlier. They have a subscription option, which is great for people who want to make money off of their writing and nurture their clients. For other businesses, specifically probably a lot of B2B businesses, there's no point in charging for them. Really, you're using it as a marketing tool to nurture your leads in the best way possible. If you are going to charge, it's pretty common to charge a low rate, like $5 to $10 per month to read your newsletter. And there's some newsletters that are highly technical that obviously put a lot of financial information into them that are a slightly more expensive option. That's something you'll want to research for your brand and decide, are you going to charge for it? And if so, how much are you going to charge for it? One of the hybrid options with charging for your email newsletter is that you can have a free version and a paid version. Obviously, in the paid version, you put more content that gives people more value, and that's why they're going to pay for it. Whatever you decide, it's totally fine. Just make sure that it's on brand for what you're looking to do and that it's going to lead to the best result for your business overall. When you start thinking about promoting your newsletter, you're going to have to think, why will people sign up for it? What's going to be in this newsletter that it's worth them saying, yes, please come and join me in my inbox on a regular basis? So back to the name of your newsletter, you want to name it something that provides value for your ideal client, and then you want to make sure that it is stuffed full of value for your ideal client. So one of the newsletters that I subscribe to that I really like is an analytics newsletter, which basically sends me on Saturday morning a bunch of recaps of different studies that this company did each week and analytics that they read and what they found. It takes me about 5 minutes to read it, and I learn something new about how to read analytics within a marketing capacity for a business. So I like their newsletter because it's easy for me. It gives me some sort of information, and it only takes me 5 minutes to learn. It's basically they take all their data and they curate it into something that's helpful for me. So you want to think about that for you and your ideal client. How can you create something that's maybe a curated recap of all of the knowledge you have that makes it easy for your clients to learn from, and they don't have to spend all their time researching like you do whatever your subject matter is. When you're thinking about your subject matter in your newsletter, make sure you make it fun somewhere for people, because life is heavy enough. It's good to add some fun into your newsletter, make them want to open it, give them something to smile about when they open it. I think that's key for every business, whether it's a B2B or B2C business, that you want to add some element of fun into your newsletter. Finally, please see this as an investment in your business. Your newsletter strategy is one of the most important things you can do for long-term sustainability in lead generation, lead conversion, and driving revenue in your business. Think of this like compound interest. At the beginning of your investment journey, it doesn't feel like it's going very fast. Your money's not growing very fast, and it kind of seems like, why are you doing it? However, 5, 10, 15, and 20 years into an investment strategy, all of a sudden your money seems like it's growing fast and compounding interest starts to pay off. Your email strategy is the same thing. It's compounding effect. The more you do it, the more consistent you are, the more it will pay off over a long haul. Those are the core ingredients to an excellent email newsletter strategy. And with that said, I'd like to invite you to join the Legacy Creative newsletter called Brandable Bites. It is a weekly publication that we will send you tips, tricks, how-to, brand breakdowns, all the things branding that we don't share other places that you only get in our newsletter. There's a link below. We'd love to see you in the email list. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.